Well, good evening. At the time of recording, it is 8:25 Eastern Standard Time. This is the show. This is the NYND podcast. This is your host, TJ Kreider, and my two brothers, Cam and Kieran, here to bring you the latest. Not really the latest, but, some of the ND news going into playoff weekend next Friday. Cam, you have any thoughts for the folks?
All right. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. All right. Yeah. So I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to be a great weekend. I think super excited that College Game Day is going to Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's huge.
I like the fact that ESPN's doing the game, not NBC. I think, as we were talking about, they need to make it more of a spectacle. I get Notre Dame has tradition and it has class, but it's a big event. They should make it exciting. They should
embrace that tradition in the class.
Yeah. So it's funny. My boss was saying he went to a game at Notre Dame, and he said it was a compliment.
For the folks listening, Cam's boss played defensive back for Penn State,
and he said when he went there, it felt like the purest environment in the sense that there was no artificial noise being pumped in. There's no
advertisements, not one advertisement in the stadium.
There was no scoreboards. I'm not saying this is good or bad, but it was very pure. This was 15 years ago. So, yeah, I think make it more of a spectacle. It's a special day. It's a special weekend. And not to mention that brings energy to the stadium.
Kieran, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off what Cam said, I think it's
You're bringing out the piggyback, dude?
Yeah. Anyway. So it's the first of its kind, right? We got a playoff game, the first expanded playoff. We got a home playoff game. Nobody knows what to expect. I'm hoping Notre Dame shows out. They have a electric atmosphere. We were there this year, so I think it'll be a good game. I just hope we win. It'd suck if we lost a playoff game.
If we lose, a lot of the wind is kind of
just gone.
Yeah. That's the one thing we were talking about before, the rankings were announced. Just give us a marquee game in South Bend. I don't want to play SMU. I don't want to play Indiana because we have everything to lose. And now we got Indiana. This is Indiana's Super Bowl. And it's not even, you don't even get that narrative where it's a Southern team coming up north, playing in the cold. Indiana's probably, I don't know where their campus is. What's it, 2 hours away? Yeah, and you also wonder how many of their fans are buying tickets.
That's why.
To that point, though, hold on one second. How many fans in the state of Indiana root for Indiana football over Notre Dame?
Football, not many.
Basketball, sure.
But basketball, yeah.
I feel like it's such a waste of a home game. We could have had anyone come up and be out of their environment and be out of their element, but no, we have Indiana down the road. It's such a waste.
I really hope they show out in their striped pants, though, the red and whites.
Yeah.
See those walking around the stadium?
If they win, those morons are going to be walking around the bars, just living the dream. They're going to get clocked at one of the bars.
Yeah, we should win handily.
It's I'm going to say it. It's a must win. I think Marcus Freeman. It's a must win.
After the year that
I'm going to say it.
I'm going to say it. It's not a can't lose, but it's a must win.
No, it is a must win. It's a must win.
Referencing a TikTok. Don't worry about it. You never seen that?
What?
No.
You know what? I'm going to say it.
Oh, I don't care that you broke your elbow.
You guys are on TikTok?
No, that's from Vine 10 years ago. You know what? I'm going to say it.
I'm going to say it.
All right.
Guys, I'm going through my notes here, and all I'm seeing is UPS notes. So we're going to go off the cuff here. It is a must-win, Kieran. I think it is. You don't win that game one. That was the biggest win the program's had since we've really paid attention to Notre Dame football, and then lose week 2 to Northern Illinois, and then if we were players on the team and in the locker room, I feel like it'd be so easy just to tap out and say okay, if I'm a junior or a senior, let me get ready for the NFL. If I'm an underclassman, maybe Freeman, the whole nice guy routine's not really working. I'm looking to transfer after the season's over. But instead, they kind of locked in. Couple of tight games there before Louisville, but that Louisville game was a marquee game at the time. Win that game, get a bye week, go to Georgia Tech, win that game. That Georgia Tech win looks a lot better now. And this team stuck together. And the one thing Notre Dame had to do, and this is what's different about the whole Brian Kelly era, we beat the shit out of people. I mean, up until USC, every game was like 52, 52-6, like 35 point differentials. And like we had to win convincingly to give, the country and the committee a reason to put us back in the top 12. And for some of the naysayers out there, if there's an SEC bias or a Big Ten bias in the rankings, then justify putting Notre Dame that high. Maybe this committee sees something in this Notre Dame team that some of these casual fans need to recognize. Maybe Notre Dame's damn good and they had one letdown game.
I mean, yeah, but our schedule is not fantastic. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but whose is, man? Whose is?
We beat Texas A&M in Texas A&M. Yes, we're going to hang our hat on that all year. This is where this is the final test. We're going to face nothing but good teams. Everyone's supposed to be there. We're not going to have these random scheduled games anymore. We just have the team in front of us, and the team in front of us is very good. We have nowhere to run anymore. We can't run to a Purdue or a Georgia Tech game. We're going to have to beat Indiana, and if we beat them, Georgia's waiting for us. So this is the real test. Notre Dame.
This is it, man. They
have to answer it. They never have.
Put up or shut up.
We have to. It's time.
And you know what? Too, like the whole big bowl game drought where Notre Dame hasn't won like a New Year's Six bowl game since like Lou Holtz.
That's not good.
Let me ask you this: if we beat Indiana, like whatever the score is, it could be 24-13, which I think might be how the game goes.
Yeah.
Would you consider that like Notre Dame finally overcame like the big bowl game woes, or is it until we play like Georgia in the second round?
No, not even close. We've beaten way better teams than Indiana.
We have. Thank you.
But like Cameron's saying, in these games, we haven't beat the cream of the crop. Like I don't consider Indiana tier A. I think they're tier 2A.
Indiana,
they're not up there yet.
They're like a lesser. So I saw something. Kier, remember when we were driving back to Chicago from South Bend together? We were listening to that podcast.
Yeah.
That guy, Brian Driscoll, who I respect a whole lot. Brian, if you watch this, I'm a fan of yours. But he was saying that Indiana is like an all-star team of like group of 5 players that transferred to Indiana. And they're, fundamentally sound. They don't beat themselves. Like they're kind of like a lesser version of what the Brian Kelly Notre Dame teams were like, 4 to 5 years ago, where we can beat most of the teams in the country. But once we play like a Clemson, I'm not even going to say a Georgia, because whenever we play Georgia, like we play them tooth and nail. I'm not scared of Georgia, but like whenever we played like some of these bigger games in the bigger spotlight, like the talent kind of took over on the outside, didn't have the big bodies in the trenches. And I think under Freeman and like under his recruiting, now we finally have the athletes to match up. It's whether or not we can go out there and execute.
I think the big question mark that I'm most curious to see is if they stuff the run, we have to be able to throw it. And I was saying yesterday, guys aren't going to be as open as they are in the regular season.
It's going to be a tight end game. It's going to be Mitchell Evans, Cam, your guy, Eli Raritan. Because if you knot up our guys on the outside and like Jeremiah Love or Jadarian Price coming out of the backfield are all covered, you do have 2 of the best tight ends in the country. That's a matchup nightmare for some middle linebacker who can't cover them. They're undersized.
Yeah, I think
against Indiana, that should be I think we could play our B+ game and beat Indiana.
We should run the ball all day. I think one thing we always have, we've had it for 20 years, we'll have it 20 years from now, is one of the best offensive lines in the country. We'll never be the fastest team. We will be one of the strongest teams. Like our offensive line, I think, can dominate anybody. That includes Georgia. That includes Ohio State. So
or at least stand up to them, yeah.
They should definitely dominate Indiana. Definitely. And if they want to load the box, fine. Then, Bo Collins, you should win a one-on-one match.
Got your ball, dude. Bo, come on, man.
You need a receiver actually be a receiver. We match up well. We should dominate them. We should run the ball. If we can't run the ball, win matchups like Kieran said. That's what you're there to do.
And 50-50 balls, like to Kieran's point, Riley, you got to put that ball, like if it's an outside shoulder throw, it can't be on the inside.
Yeah, they're going to spy him the entire time too, which is smart. They should do that, right? Because we can't. Yeah,
I think he beats a spy.
No,
I think he's a special athlete, man.
He is, but I don't know, like a spy is he's watching him the whole time. Like he needs to be able to make throws. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And like I said, the windows are going to be tight. They're not going to be as open as they are in the regular season. Does he have the arm talent?
that's kind of where I don't disagree, but I feel like, as I said last night, USC's defensive backs are probably more recruited than Indiana's defensive backs are.
Yeah, but as much as anything, defense is all coaching.
And we also didn't get open against USC much. So that was not really a valid point.
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
We didn't have to, though.
Yeah, that's also true.
I said this all year. I was telling Dad this because Dad has all his opinions about, I'm like, Pops, I mean, if you look at the schedule, it's not tough. Do you wonder if this guy, Mike Denbrock, who just won a Heisman for, that LSU guy, Jaden Daniels, he was no slouch. Do you wonder if they looked at the schedule, knowing it's a much longer season this year than any other college football season to date? And do you hide some things? Like, do you hide some tendencies, knowing that your talent is enough to beat anybody on the schedule? If you just run the ball, like a basic offense should probably beat any team you have on the schedule. Do you hide some of your nook and cranny things until you get to the playoffs, and then you open it up a little bit? Hey, we can run a deep post with Bo Collins or, Jaden Greathouse, or you haven't seen it all year. How can you game plan for something if you haven't seen it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't use it against Texas A&M or Louisville, we've had hard games. But I think
those games were, if you remember, that was just hand the ball off to our running back and throw to the guy open. Like, Kieran, it's like when you were playing high school football, it's all those sprint out throws to the sideline. You're not going to beat Georgia doing that. But you can beat an 8-4 Texas A&M doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a game, the Indiana game, we can get away with some mistakes. I don't think we have to play perfect. I think we can beat them. I think we're better than them. But I think what happens, I don't want to look ahead, but
yeah, I don't even want to mention Georgia. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just go 1-0.
Yeah,
1-0.
Indiana. I do I'm not a fan of JMU, Indiana's coach, as I mentioned before. The whole Google me thing. When you're coaching at JMU, half your guys are selling insurance in 3 years. Stop acting like you're going against these big name teams. You're not coaching against Texas or Alabama. Now, the caveat to that is he also has that level of talent on his team.
We all know it's almost like the Dion approach, where you got to say something to get some clicks and some ratings over in Indiana.
It's Indiana.
I don't like it either. I think the three of us would never run our program like that. I get why he's doing it, but I told you, Freeman, he did a little Google us mention in his press conference on Monday, and it was just a masterclass.
I just feel like it's bulletin board material. I don't like
Let them have it. Let them have it. Let them have whatever bulletin board material they want. If we go out there and play our B+ game, we should beat them, no problem.
I agree. Like I said, I think our chances of losing to Indiana equal our chances of beating Georgia. Not likely, but it can happen.
And then moving on to, it's not going to be an NBC broadcast. It's going to be ESPN.
Hold on a second.
I really think I'm curious to see how ESPN covers it, because there's one side of ESPN that just hates all over Notre Dame and everything Notre Dame stands for and what is about. We're an independent school. We're a Catholic school. That doesn't bode well for the Disney and ESPN investors. But the fact that Notre Dame hosting a playoff game is the first game of this new expanded playoff era. It's at home. The rest of the games are Saturday. The fact that Notre Dame is hosting the first one, how cool is that? And does ESPN really lean into that? They're doing College Game Day on Friday. And do they do what NBC won't do? Do they cover the pregame mass walk from the church to the stadium? Do they get them NBC they'll put a camera right on the stairwell when the Notre Dame players are coming down. They tap to play like a champion today. And that's it. And then they show them in the tunnel and then they come out or whatever. Does ESPN kind of do they milk that walk coming from the locker room, walking down the tunnel, get the audio from the stadium, really lean into it,
I think it's the first 12-team playoff. It's the first game of the playoff Friday night. I think they'll make it a spectacle. They should, right? Otherwise, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And the fact of the matter is, Notre Dame is, if not number one, a top 3 fan base in college football. What's bigger?
There isn't one.
Michigan,
Ohio State, probably, yeah.
So you capitalize on the viewing you're going to have and make it cool. Make it cool.
It's a big deal.
I think they're going to milk the in-state factor of it too. Like,
I just hope it's not the whole like Indiana, the underdog coming into South. Stop.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if we lose the game, forget about it. Oh God.
You can't say Google me and then say you're not. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either good or you're not good. You know, I hate when people give themselves a handicap and say, "Oh, we got nothing to lose." I hate when people say that. Who are you to give yourself a handicap? Of course, you have something to lose. You can lose the game.
Lose, you're done. You're going home.
Yeah. Like, you could lose.
Honestly, this is probably because half the guys on Indiana's roster, guys, are transfers from JMU that he used to coach. When they leave, this could be the only shot they have. Let's be honest. Like, no one's going to bail on Notre Dame to go to Indiana.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like from a recruiting standpoint.
They have starters from JMU playing on Indiana.
They're a group of 5 all-star team.
Oh, my
And
God.
I mean, we're only favorited by a touchdown, so I don't know what they see that we're not seeing, but I mean, should be at least 2 scores in my opinion.
And you know what happens? Like we've had Ollie, it's okay. It's the pizza guy.
Ollie.
Okay.
Wait, what?
No, just there you go, Ollie. He shuts up right away. But
Ollie. Sorry, I'm not trying to be annoying.
You got to keep that.
that's an edit. That's an edit. Yeah.
What'd I do? This?
You went from all like mean and mighty to.
Oh, God.
That's funny.
All right, so next Friday, I did some thinking on this. Does it make sense? I mean, so we all have somewhere to be Saturday morning. I think if we watch this game separately, it's a huge mistake, given that we finally corralled the 3 of us together to do this.
Yeah.
If you guys, I mean, Cam, if you want to, I don't know about you, Kieran, but Cam, if you wanted just to come to the apartment to watch the game, because I know we kind of talked about how 3 hours after work before an 8 o'clock kick is dangerous, and let's just be honest, like we're gonna go out and get all sorts of dinged up. If you want to come here, we can watch it here. I'll order a couple of pies, or
whatever. I mean, it's
Kieran, what time do you think? So, what time did you get out of work on Friday?
I mean,
Kieran.
I probably can't. If we're meeting in Queens, I probably.
What if we met in Westchester?
Queens might be tough. Westchester is more realistic.
That's more realistic. I mean, I'll be leaving the office by like 5:30. So.
I was telling Caitlin, I'm probably not going to ask her. I'm probably just going to do this if we do it. I would just get like an Airbnb or like a hotel in like White Plains, and we can just watch the game together, wake up, and just like shoot across the Tappan Zee.
That's a good idea.
I don't think that idea.
We got to watch it together. I'd tell Corrigan to come.
Yeah, I'd be down not to stay in Manhattan. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really need.
We're going to get into trouble.
I don't need to spend Manhattan money either. So like, let's.
I want to get out of there.
Yeah. Me neither. 3 hours is dangerous. We go to dinner. We get a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah, next thing you know, it's 5 a.m. The birds are chirping.
Yeah, sorry, Dad. I missed Pop's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take this out, by the way.
All right, so that's settled. We'll talk about that throughout next week. Let's talk about the other games though. So we have SMU going to Penn State, we have Clemson going to Texas, and we have Tennessee going to Ohio State. Kieran, I'll go to you first. What's the one game? Assuming Notre Dame wins and we get to sit on our ass on Saturday and like take in all the games and enjoy ourselves.
Dude,
what's
Saturday.
The one game?
If they lose on Friday, my Saturday's done. My Saturday's ruined.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch the game.
If we lose, I'm looking at New York Rangers hockey. But if we win, what's the number one game you're looking forward to?
I think the best one's Ohio State, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it could go either way. I think all the other games, I think Texas is going to win. Penn State should beat SMU, but who knows with James Franklin in a big game. And I'm missing one. There's another. What's the other one?
That's it.
Oh, Notre Dame, Indiana. So
yeah,
I think Ohio State, Tennessee.
Ohio State, Tennessee. Let's start there. You said one of you said something yesterday when we recorded this, and I never hit record for 48 minutes. That there was something that like if someone Kirk Herbstreit said that if Ohio State doesn't score on the first drive, the birds are coming out.
Yep, they're gonna boo. They're gonna boo Ryan Day. I mean, I can't blame them. I mean,
if I'm Ryan Day, I'm leaving, man. Like enough. Like I'm a good coach. I beat Michigan. Michigan couldn't hold my jock strap for the first 4 years.
but he doesn't beat them.
But he did for the first 3.
Ryan Day does not have 3 wins against Michigan.
He beat him one time. 2019, he beat him like 56-27.
Is that when Urban Meyer left Ohio
That was
State?
with Justin Fields. Urban Meyer kicked the crap out of him, but not Ryan Day.
You only has. Oh wow.
Some people wake up on third thinking they.
Yeah, that was the Jim Harbaugh quote. I thought Ryan Day beat him more than that. Okay, so
he's got those cheeks. I can't stand those red cheeks.
And ever since that Lou Holtz thing, like, dude, are you kidding? You're letting Lou Holtz in a wheelchair, and like the fact that Lou Holtz is just like still throwing shots is awesome.
Well,
Ryan Day, you pansy.
And Ryan Day, the post game interview, like
his voice is cracking.
Lou's probably fast asleep. It's like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Lou Holtz has a national title, pal. Urban Meyer coached under Lou Holtz.
Yeah, Urban Meyer was a stud, great coach, scumbag, but good coach.
Yeah, not a good guy. Confirmed, not a good guy.
Yeah. You know, there was, I don't know if you guys saw this. There was when he was coaching at Utah. He's Irish Catholic. He did coach under Lou Holtz like during like those glory years from like 88 to 93. He was a wide receiver coach. I'm not sure like which specific years they were, but he was the wide receiver coach under Lou Holtz, and he is Irish Catholic, and he was supposed to be the shoe-in before Charlie Weiss, but he went to Florida instead because he thought the recruiting would be better, and obviously that worked out. But you know, the way things could have changed. You know,
I don't know how much talking about Urban Meyer we should do.
Moving on, I got Tennessee beating Ohio State.
I got Ohio.
Sorry,
I was just gonna say I have Ohio State comfortably 2.5. 17.
Yeah, you were saying you think they're gonna come like bad out of hell.
And I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. They are. Someone's at the door. Hold on.
All right,
I think
walk the camera over. Walk the camera over. See who it is.
I think Ohio State doesn't have the quarterback play to win this game. I don't think he's that good. This guy.
I don't think he is either.
I think Tennessee wins. I think it's a close game, but I think that's why Ohio State loses. And then once Ohio State loses, that's it. Ryan Day's gone. You heard it here.
He'll be an OC in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the next step for him, but I don't even know if I'd want him to do that.
It's crazy, man. Like they arguably have 2 of the best running backs in the country. They spend how many millions of dollars on NIL in the offseason?
Whoa.
All right, I'm back.
How many millions of dollars on NIL in the offseason? They bring in Chip Kelly to coach the offense, and against Michigan, all they run is 22.
Chip Kelly, where's he now?
Ohio State. He's the OC of Ohio State.
Yeah, I didn't know that. God, he bounced around for a while.
Cam, all he does is 22 dives.
But they thought he was the next
he was.
Genius. I mean, head coach of UCLA, went to the Eagles, went to the 49ers. Like, he was everywhere.
I mean, he made Oregon every bit of who they are now. So you gotta get
that's true.
So I got Tennessee beating Ohio State. Cam has Ohio State. Kieran, you have Tennessee?
I got Tennessee, but 1-score game.
SMU, Penn State. SMU.
Yeah, this is going to I don't know, because I've been so against SMU being in, and I don't think they should be in still. I think it's a waste of time.
Yes, they should, dude. Yeah, they should.
It's so stupid, but fine.
Yeah.
Sure, SMU got their berth.
I'm taking Iguodala. No,
Penn State.
I'll take Penn State. Take Penn State.
All right. I'm going SMU. And then Texas, Clemson.
I'm going Clemson.
I think you guys are so stupid for that. So dumb.
Dabo.
Kieran has this thing about Dabo because he comes down the hill and he sprints to midfield by himself in his khakis.
It's a miracle no one's got hurt with that thing. Like, that's 20,000 pounds of man.
Let me see if I can find Dabo coming flying out down the hill.
Or like pulled a hamstring or something. Mike, that's a horrible idea.
It's the Dabo show. He wants the whole stadium to look at him.
Kieran, that tradition existed well before Dabo was.
I'm not talking about the tradition. I'm talking about the middle-aged head coach sprinting down.
I mean, what do you want to walk down?
No coach before Dabo did that. I promise you.
I mean, every coach in college football leads their team out first. He just does it on a decline, you know?
And he does it 30 yards ahead of them.
Come on!
The Clemson Dabos.
I'd be scared knowing that that mass of people is behind me. Like,
But anyways, I have Texas by 3 scores. I think it's going to be a wash.
oh man, disrespectful.
Washout. I think this is a Ewers prove it game, and I think Sark's going to throw it all over.
I don't think so.
42-17.
How quickly people forget.
That's a great team to do. Well coached.
BYOD.
A lot of our team, that's what it's all about. It ain't always perfect, but what I told them tonight was, listen, we give you scholarships, we give you.
The worst part was this was against us.
Meals and a place to.
I'll never forget this night.
I can't give you guts, and I can't give you heart. And tonight, hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts. And they brought some guts and some heart, and they never quit till the last
Now,
minute.
I don't know if you guys remember, in this game, we turned the ball over 6 times.
Yeah.
3 times within the 5-yard line in a hurricane in Clemson.
Yeah. Clemson had that
Clemson
one.
goes on to play Alabama tooth and nail. And we won that. The only other loss we had that season was against Christian McCaffrey and the Stanford squad on a missed field goal. Or they made a field goal as time expired. Like, what could have been? That was that Jalen Smith team, like Deshaun Kaiser, Will Fuller.
You could argue that game was the genesis of Clemson as they are today. Like that game was the start of everything.
And you say it all the time. Like, I'm just so sick of like these other dynasties like getting their legs after beating us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want Clemson.
Georgia 2017, after they beat us, that catapulted them to the national title.
Yeah. I also hate when a team is good, everyone respects them, they're really good, then we play them, we beat them, they're not good. Louisville happens every year. Louisville's always ranked top 15, and then all of a sudden Notre Dame beats them all. Louisville's not that good.
Oh,
really?
yeah, they're not good. That was Texas A&M. All we hear on ESPN is how deep of a league the SEC is, but an 8-4 Texas A&M team, they're not that good.
In 2018, we beat number 7 Stanford. 2018, number 7. Oh, they're just Stanford. They're not that good. Really? Because they're number 7. I don't know. Well, we beat Clemson 2.
This is for you.
Look at this. Look at this freaking guy. Wait for it.
He's moving though.
That's not okay. That's your head coach. That's the leader.
Oh, I didn't realize he keeps running for that long.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Around like,
you know what, dude? I gotta be honest. I kind of love that. I kind of love that.
Weird.
I didn't realize.
Who are you kidding? If you were coaching, you'd be the same way.
I would never do that. Never do that.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, but I didn't realize he held it for 60 yards.
See, ever since I saw that, I was like, I hate this guy.
Yeah,
he's probably a good guy, but
Terrell. Yeah, that's brutal.
You want to do some Bill O'Reilly?
Blow up some real coaches.
Yeah, but
Let's do some Bill. Let's do some.
Might as well stick him up.
No, not Bill. Nick.
Want to do Nick?
Yeah, we need
we'll do some Nick. All right, we'll do some Nick.
It's cut.
I didn't realize that Nintendo thing was part of like the extended practice clip that I've seen 1,000 times on YouTube.
The best. I'll wait till he plays it, then I'll comment on it.
Yeah, hold your thoughts, Ken. Terrell.
You know what I was thinking about? Remember Army almost beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma in 2018?
And Michigan. Yeah. Is this it? Oh, this is it. This is Dad. This is Dad. This is how he was, youth football, bunch of 7th and 8th graders.
Are you going to pull it up? What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Get off my ass.
Come on, BJ, finish the play. How you want to get, D? Like this. Come on, Julio, let's go.
Julio Jones.
Break on the ball. Play Nintendo? What are we doing? One guy breaking on the ball. No. Terrell. Damn it, it's cut. You don't have anybody to fight.
No.
And I'm going to tell you what, if I had a barometer up here.
All right, so Notre Dame, Indiana, next Friday, 3:30 college game day, 8 o'clock kickoff. College game day, I think the three of us expect Notre Dame to win. We'll do another podcast next Wednesday just to kind of like, get our boots on the ground in terms of plans of how we're going to watch the game. But otherwise, I mean, this season could have been a train wreck, and it wasn't. Here we are. We're in the playoff. We're, the number 7 seed. Let's go to work, beat Indiana, and then you were going to have to beat Georgia in Atlanta at some point. Might as well beat them in the second round. And let's see how the program is and how we stack up. Any closing thoughts, guys?
No, I think let's deliver. Let's win this game. There's no reason we shouldn't.
Let's
I think
win the game.
The last big win we had was against Clemson 3 years ago without Trevor Lawrence. We never got the credit we deserve. So win this game, win it decisively, and let's move on to Georgia.
Yeah, I think same. This is a game we're supposed to win. Let's win a game we're supposed to win, right? That comes down to Marcus Freeman, not letting these guys take their foot off the gas. We got to show up to work, and we got to take care of what we got to do on Saturday or on Friday.
Amen, Phil. It's all right. It's all right.
Said it was such
Friday night lights under the lights. South
Dude,
Bend.
I think it's bullshit they're doing it on Friday. But whatever.
Oh, I think it's cool. And like because they have the limelight. There's no other game.
No, I know. It's more so for the fact that I got work and I got to travel.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to travel. Enjoy the game. That's the priority.
No, I want to watch it with you guys. So if we do the Westchester thing, I can definitely pull that off.
We should.
Yeah,
let's
let's do Westchester. I think Manhattan's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, my wife is working that, or she has something to do that night, so we'll have an open house. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I'll even just rip it in the apartment. Like I don't get some brews and some za.
In-game volume.
Dude, I haven't had a Saturday where I just sat down and watched all 4 quarters. I feel like life has been so crazy with all the stuff we have going on the weekends.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to just clearing the schedule for that.
Let's do that. I'll tell Caitlin, Friday night, let's just be up there so Saturday we can wake up and shoot over to see Pop.
Yeah.
I'm all for that idea. All for it.
All right, fellas. Good pod. We got 2 in the books.
All right.
And I'm gonna hit end record now too.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right, fellas. Good night.
See you, boys.